And we're back here at the main event. Of course, I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and Dale took off early today. He had to go over and judge some rock and roll radio, which he was super excited about. If you know anything about Dale, he's a country guy out there. So we had to go do that, but I finished up with Lou, and of course, we get a bird's eye view coming up here with Mike Sheahan as well. He's ready to go. He's got a championship game, third in a row, coming up this weekend with the Scottsdale Christian Academy Eagles. Let's get into it with the bird's eye view. Last time I saw Coach, he was drenched. He was sweat everywhere, and it was a cold night out there at ALA North Mesa. Coach, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you today, Steve?
Doing good. Well, we got to get the important things out of the way first. What's your Thanksgiving plans? What's the deal around the Coach Sheahan's house there?
Just well, tomorrow's actually my birthday.
Oh,
so Thanksgiving is double with my birthday this year. So I think the kids and my wife have some stuff planned for us, but just easy, chill dinner, and then we'll practice in the morning.
Okay.
Obviously, I think they have some birthday stuff planned for me midday. We'll have dinner, and then I think birthday stuff later on. But nothing too crazy. Just a day to get ready for football, right?
Right. Well, that's the curses of getting to the championship game, right? I mean, St. John's is dealing with the same thing. Holidays go by the wayside a little bit, right? So here's my question: Your birthday's on Thanksgiving. Like, what can you do? Everything's closed, isn't it? So it's just hang out around the house?
I don't know. I honestly, I'm so old now. It doesn't matter. Who cares, right? But I know,
my
kids. My
Yeah.
son's 9, my daughter's 13. So it's fun for them to do. And my son came and woke me up this morning. He's like, "Do you want to know what I got you?" You know what I mean? I'm like, "No, dude, wait till tomorrow." But I think they get more excited than I do, but I think that's the best part of it.
That is awesome. You want to know? I'd be like, yeah, I want to know. Tell me. I'll look surprised.
Yeah, I almost said yes because I'm horrible at it and I always want to know, but I'm like, no, because I know he loves a surprise and it's not as fun if I know it.
What do the kids have school today? I know, like, my kids are out today. They only went Monday, Tuesday. Do they have school today? And if not, obviously you have the games Saturday night. You have 3 days. I know they're going to be practicing, but you have 3 days of a lot of free time for these kids coming into this weekend.
Yeah, that's kind of the worry, right? So there's no school. So they had a half day yesterday, and then no school today, no school tomorrow, no school Friday. But we're practicing right at game time, so we'll practice later on this afternoon.
So 3:00.
Hopefully the kids are up. I kind of already sent a couple huddle messages and try to make sure they're up and moving around and doing their things. So it's trying to go about it as a regular week, but it's almost impossible on this kind of week. But like you said, St. John's going through the same thing. It's not like we're the only ones off or anything like that. So it's going through the motions, just kind of have practice at the same time, and hopefully things work out on Saturday.
Because I wonder this, like, about the Bears that play on Friday, right, of this week as well, So they're going to go through their Thanksgiving stuff, and they're traveling, but let's just say the Eagles at home, so like that. Do you tell the kids or suggest what they eat on Thursday, or is it just you guys be you, and then we'll worry about it on Friday, and they come in sluggish?
Yeah, worry about it. They've got about 48 hours to digest that. So I hope by then it's just fuel by then. And I'm sure I don't want to tell them I just eat as much as humanly possible. Who cares? So with their metabolisms and like me and you, if I eat a lot on Thanksgiving, I'll still feel it on Saturday. So I got to be careful myself. So it's I'm
still feeling that pizza I had over on Sunday night, man. Like, geez.
Right. Yeah. It's that's how I am too. 3 days later, I'm all bloated, which is a weird thing to say for a man, but you know what I mean? But
we don't talk about that enough as men, right? That's what we'll look at that, right?
Yes.
Hey, so looking back at last weekend, obviously, I talked about it on air. I had about an hour and a half before game time, Dale's texting me, "How's it looking?" And I'm going to pick up a pizza, and I'm like, I'm not even sure I'm going to go to this game. I mean, it was like I'm going to have to hook up the boat to get there. It was just torrential downpour. I live about 10, 15 minutes away from ALA North Mesa there. And I was like, and it's going that way. So I was like, oh my gosh. But then it kind of loosened up, and the radar said it wasn't gonna, and then it just rained the whole time we were there, right? At least it turned into a drizzle for a little bit. In terms of the preparation,
for like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
for
well,
like 3 minutes. I was like, oh, this is open. This is gonna be nice. We're gonna be able to throw the ball. It works better in our favor.
Yeah.
And then it goes right back to rain. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
but
What was
at
your
least it
question?
went to a drizzle for a little bit to where it didn't feel like it was raining. It just felt like a mist, kind of, But I saw you guys. I just happened to be standing there when you guys were coming out of the locker room because we were hovered underneath this little canopy, and you guys came by. And man, tell me about the locker room going into that game because, Wilcox, weather's different down there. They get rain. It's colder down there, stuff to that effect. And I was worried about that going into this game, standing there. You guys came out of the locker room and your kids were just fired up, ready to go. It didn't look like they were affected by it. Your coaching staff was wide-eyed and ready to go. And I didn't see any, I'm going to use the word fear, right? That's not the right word, but I didn't see any of this, oh, man, this is going to suck tonight going into it. How did you get the team ready to go out in those environments when you haven't played in those environments at all, right?
I think it's just something. I think the kids became kids again. And it's like they're not adults where they go out there and they get paid to do this. And we have to go play on the rain. Man, those kids were excited to do that. They wanted to go out there and play the room. Like, was in the back of their head, yes, they can fumble. Was there more things that could happen?
Yeah.
Was it better for a little bit more stronger running team? Yes. Like all that stuff's in the back of their head. But I thought it was kind of cool because their energy was really high.
Yeah.
And I felt like they were just excited to go play in that. Like they felt like they became little kids again. And they did. They had a lot of fun. They started off really well and long, crazy game. But I love the energy that they came out with for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I forget that too. And it's funny now that you say that, it just clicked on my head because I was noticing like every adult's like got layers on and umbrellas, and we're all just huddled up, and kids are running around in shorts and short sleeve shirts in the stands, and stuff. So when you just said that, it actually clicked. I forget that you're coaching high school kids, So
yeah, my son got there, and my wife said like my 9-year-old, the first like 3 minutes, two girls in his class in fourth grade come up and told my wife, Bennett's in the puddles. Like he was jumping and running through the puddles and playing football in the puddles. And like, he's having a blast emulating those kids out on the field.
Yeah.
And those kids in high school are getting to go do that. So it was miserable. I tried to go without a poncho.
Yeah, I saw you put it on.
I know, but like the coaches were like, put it on. If we win this week and you're sick next week, that's just dumb.
It wasn't a poncho though. It was a jacket, right? It wasn't a poncho.
Yeah,
it was a clear
like a hunting
poncho.
jacket. Yeah, like that's it. It's a hunting jacket. It's a little bit better than a poncho, right?
Well, yeah, and that's what I did. I had my Columbia weather that I've owned for like 10 years. I wear it like once every 6 years here in Phoenix, and I got to break that out, and it kept me dry. It was nice. It was just, then the wind was there, and that rain was coming down sideways. It was an interesting environment. And I was making fun of it too. Because I was like, man, everywhere else in the country plays in this all the time, and we're all wussies right now.
That's our Arizona people like, brr, like it was cold though. I don't know. It was the most interesting weather game that I played in. That's for other than
I'll give you
we played at St. John's, I think in 2011, and it was freezing, but this was just different.
Yeah,
this was different.
It was a completely different environment, and you start off the game nice. Their first drive interception. They threw the ball, and it was a nice play. I apologize. I forgot who got it because I wasn't able to do my charting. I wasn't able to do my charting because of all the rain. Returns it for a pick six, and then things kind of slowed down a little. One thing that I noticed, and one of your coaches said to me without me even saying it to him after the game, they said, man, when that rain was coming down, we struggled, and I noticed that as well. That rain slowed down or stopped, and you guys were right back on pace again. From that perspective. Now, weather's supposed to be good this weekend, but learning curve here for these guys and for you as a coaching staff on how to deal with that type of stuff.
Yeah, I think it was. I think offensively we did okay. I think defensively is so like Wilcox. First and foremost, freaking phenomenal football team. Oh my God, those backs are so good. And I will say this, Coach Lotz at Wilcox is probably one of the best men, not just coaches that I know. That dude is an amazing guy. Those boys were coached so well.
I agree.
They were gracious and like, you know what I mean? Like, just like they lost, but they're good. They're commenting on my Twitter and they're just good kids.
That's what impressed me. That's what impressed me. Not only the kids, but the coach right after the game, you said we're back or whatever you said, and he goes, "Go win it." You don't see that in
I
high
know,
school
right?
sports too much, right?
No, you don't, because everybody gets all self-reflective and worried about themselves. And Coach
Yeah.
Lots, obviously, they would have loved to win, but I don't know if you saw. I make my wife goes, man, you sure gave the coach from Wilcox a really long hug
You
after that
were you
game. And
were
I'm
with
like,
him
yeah,
for a long time, yeah.
I mean, he's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
I talked to him all throughout the year. We text message all year. I called him a couple times throughout the season. He's a good dude. So, hats off to them. I love their program. Those two backs are nasty.
Oh,
But back to
the
what
two
your
the two
question.
backs, and then in coordination with that quarterback. If you don't mind me jumping in,
Yes, right.
they worked
Yeah.
seamlessly. There was one play, and I didn't mean to jump in on you here, but
No,
I'm the
you're
host.
good. Please,
Just
please
kidding.
do. Please
Just
do.
kidding.
Yes,
But there was a
exactly.
play where I was explaining that wing T offense that they run to Autumn. We're
Yeah.
standing there because she wasn't understanding. And I go, look, they either hand it to the guy on the right and he runs with it, or they fake it to him, turn around and hand it to the guy on the left, and he runs
Yeah.
with it, or they fake it to him too, and then the quarterback. And I go, and then they just run it up the middle. And I go, we haven't seen a lot of that middle run at all. Boom, next play was that big wrong run up the middle. And
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
yeah, I shouldn't have said that. But it was
No, you
amazing.
jinxed us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing watching that offense. We saw, the Phoenix Christian earlier. We saw, of course, ALA. I saw them on film. This was the most pristine, just to give your defense some credit, most pristine running game that was confounding out there that I saw all
It was
season.
phenomenal. That wing T, first of all, that team does it extremely well, Wilcox. And then that wing T is built
Yeah.
for weather like that. It
Yeah.
is built
Okay.
for that.
That's what I
And
was going
it's
to ask
like,
you. Yeah.
yeah, I think the wing T was like, that was definitely a big deal, like for them. That played in their favor. Excuse me. Had a little coffee and a little
You
burpee
don't
again today.
have
You
to
know what I
explain,
mean?
you
Every
don't have to
time I
explain
jump
it to
on,
us again.
little burpee. But man, that wing tee is built for the rain and the bad weather and the mud and all that stuff. And man, they run it so well. Those backs hit those A gaps
Yeah.
and those traps so fast. And what people don't realize, like, yeah, they went for a lot of yards, but it is harder to react on defense in a slick field than it is being the one making the cut. When you're the offensive player, you know where you're going. When you're the defensive player, it's all reactionary. Like the grass is wet. That turf is so wet when you're playing.
Your
So
guys
our
were,
boys, even if
both
it,
sides were
yeah,
slipping when they would literally hit the ground and
yes,
then just slide. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, just side. And honestly, like it's hard to cut on defense. It's hard to react to what's going on. Like I think that's why we hit a little bit. Like we didn't hit the 50-yard runs, but we hit a couple like 20-yard gains. And it's like you could just see them. Like, how did that work out? Is because the guys are so close, but they don't have their footing too. And I honestly thought the play calling on the Wilcox side was really good. They caught us in a blitz a couple times. We brought our safety down in the box, blitzed in the B gap on the opposite side, and they just so happened, and maybe it was a tendency, and we got to get away from it. But they'd hit that A gap on the weak side, and they took off a couple times. They got us. We definitely held our own on the goal line, and later on in the game when we needed to, but they hit us with some big plays. That's for sure.
I mean, the other thing I noticed that I've never seen before, at least recently, at least, was like I would watch two players hit each other. And it's like they would slide off of each other. It wasn't like a stick.
Yeah,
it was like they'd hit.
It
and
wasn't
just,
like a run through. It was like a bounce off, trying to figure it out, go back in the play.
Exactly.
It was seriously a crazy game.
And of course, we were back a little bit farther than we normally are to notice all that. It was interesting, but no, I agree with you on Wilcox. So I mean, you guys have played, and St. John's has their own opponents also coming to this game that are good as well. But you guys played Santan Charter. There, and I don't mean to to be disrespectful to Morenci. They were a good team as well. But then you got into Santan Charter. Then you had to play Wilcox last week and everything, right? And then you got St. John's this week and things. I was telling Dale, this is for the third time in a row. This is your toughest route to get to this championship game coming into it this week.
Obviously, we had Santan last year in that semifinals game. But
but that was one
it's
game,
the same
right?
team. Yeah, it's one game.
Now you've had two,
and I think Morenci, we just played out of our minds. I think that loss was the best thing that happened. So I think Morenci's even a good football team. Morenci played this team pretty well in the regular season. They played against St. John's pretty well. So it's been a juggernaut. It has not been an easy thing. We've been down at halftime in the last two games. Our kids have battled. They've been through it all, but yeah, it is. It's definitely been it's been a road for sure on our side of the. I mean, their side of the bracket too.
Yeah,
ALA and
well,
St.
that's what I mean.
Verdi and the
I'll even.
things.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
give it all the way up. I mean, St. John's had to go through
yeah.
juggernauts that normally you wouldn't have played them and stuff like that. So as I said, I think it was last week. This 2A is getting pretty dang competitive. Now, the
It
interesting thing
is.
will it stay competitive or will you have some drop offs? I know the rural schools as kids graduate, they drop off and get young and have to build back up. But if it stays like this, man, this 2A's have really been built up, and this is going to lead to some excitement. I already gave Santan props. All those sophomores on that team, man, they're
No,
going to
they're gonna be
be
good.
tough the next couple
They're gonna be
years.
good. Absolutely. They were
So
good already,
I
right?
know
So it's
that's the
like,
thing.
yeah, so they're gonna be good. And obviously,
Yeah.
like one of their better players is a junior. Like, yeah, they're real good. They're gonna be back. And honestly, like Wilcox, they're not super old either,
No,
too.
they
They
had a
got a
lot
decent
of
amount of
yeah.
juniors on the teams.
Yeah.
We have a decent amount of juniors too. So I think there's not gonna be a lot of drop off, I don't think, in the next couple years. And then St. John's, they're junior senior type team too. So it's there's some good football. Freaking ALA brings back a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
everybody's gonna be, and I think Pima's gonna be better next year too. I'm
Oh
not trying
yeah.
to look forward to next year, like, but
Pima, I
it's
know, but Pima dropped down because they had graduates, right? So now they're just going
yes,
to get better
exactly.
as they
Yep.
get older and things to that
Yep.
effect, right? So it's just interesting. It's just more of a perspective here in the question of tougher route to get to this point than the last couple. So
Yep.
how do you feel your team's set up? It's hard to talk about last week's game because of the rain. It changed a lot of stuff on it. It's hard to go, oh well, this guy didn't do well. You need to do this better. Those elements were something you're not going to face and haven't faced before. So, I mean, your team
Yeah.
going into this game this weekend, mental mindset, Thanksgiving, you guys have been through this before, obviously, last couple of years over the Thanksgiving holiday. Most of these kids have been on the team. At least a lot of the players have been have been through
Mhm.
this. So, your mental makeup on the team going into this game.
Um, it's been a tough one. I feel like yes, we've been there before, and I think we've kind of talked about it throughout the season, right? It's yes, we've been there before, but how do you keep doing it? How do you keep that motivation? How do you stay hungry and humble at the same time? And that's the biggest thing that's the biggest challenge. And I was talking to our athletic director Eric Dahl the other day, and he's like, "Man, like this might be your coaching staff's best coaching
Yeah.
over the last 3 years since you've been here to be able to go through these playoffs and be down at halftime and do all these things." He's like, "You guys have done miraculous things, but this could be your best group." And I feel that way. um, I think every year is pretty hard,
Last
but I
year,
feel
though,
like
man, last year
I
was.
know. But last year we were running on pure emotion, right? It
Yeah.
was like love and emotion. There was so much more to it where we played so free because
Yeah.
it's like we're not even supposed to be here. We're not supposed to win in. We're kind of the underdogs and everything. And I feel like our kids were played, it was unbelievably free. It was pretty special. And then this year you go into it and it's like you've won twice and you're getting back and everybody expects it. Everybody doesn't want you to be good
Yeah.
there. Like there's a lot more mind games this year than there were last year. Last year it's just like, hey, let's roll the ball out and see what happens. And then
Yeah.
this year is like there's so much there's pressure, right? And we put most of the pressure on ourselves and maybe from
Yeah.
outside sources too, just as like, oh, three-peat. I just think the mentality going into this game is just do the routine things routinely. Just go back to the last 2 years do not matter because
Yeah.
like we got to live in the moment. You guys, this team right here is going for one, not three. This exact team is going for one. And all you got to do is go 1-0, one more week and then you have done something. But we can't, like the last 2 years, yeah, they were on that. Yeah, some of them played, some of them started, but this is so different. We're just concentrating on that
Yeah.
one.
Well, I got to
There's a
ask
long
it.
answer. That's no
Oh no,
answer.
I got to ask you this, and it brings some controversy into this, right? Where I'm watching this Lane Kiffin situation at Ole Miss, where he's obviously leaving Ole Miss for a boatload of money, probably from LSU, and he's hemming and hawing. They have a big game this weekend. They dropped in the college football playoffs last night. You publicly, your name's come up a couple times on Twitter on a couple jobs out
Yes,
there.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. What's your question? What's your
My
question?
question
So
is that does that affect anything? Do you have to sit down with the guys and talk to them? Kenny Dillingham had to do it this year. Do you have to sit down with everybody and talk to them? That whether what the intentions are, or is it just ignore the noise? Like how do you do this? I imagine in high school circles this can be a distraction.
I don't even think I need to address it, and here's why. I think these boys know how much I love them and I love SCA. So I don't even think and maybe there's some grumbling between parents. They might think this, but if they know me personally, if they know anything about me, if they've got to know me at all as a person, they know I'm going nowhere. Right. So like my son is in 4th grade, my daughter's
Yeah.
in 8th grade. I love SCA. We're right in the middle of building something special. Like we got the new field, we got the scoreboard. The program's starting to create a great tradition. Not that it wasn't before,
But
but
not
it's
not just
starting
the
to like
football, but I mean other sports are banking
oh,
off of the
it's
football
amazing.
success. Yeah.
Dude, the girls flag
Yeah. Tell them
football
about that.
team
Yeah.
is doing awesome. They won the state championship. The volleyball won the state championship. Man, if we lose it, then you know what I mean? We're not a football school anymore. But but I just love the place. I love the energy. I support every other sport as much as I support our
You
boys
do.
up
Yeah.
to whatever extent I can. And I don't want to go anywhere. I did get I you know, can be to be completely honest, I received a call and I said I'm not interested from someone. So you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's where we're at on that. And I'll be completely honest and I'll tell the parents that if they ever ask anything. And I think the kids totally know that
No, oh, look at that, folks. Now it's controversial because he froze up right there, right in the middle of that. He just hung up on us. Oh, now I can start my.
no, am I not here?
Yeah, no, you froze
Am
up
I
for a
here?
second. You froze up right
Okay.
there, and I was going to do the speculation of, folks, he's leaving. He's leaving. He froze up.
No, here's my plan. Here's my goal unless I get fired or asked to leave prior to this. My son is in 4th grade. I want to see him all the way through to high school. If he doesn't want me to coach him in high school and he wants to play football, at that time I would step down because I want to give him his
Yeah.
opportunity. But if he wants me to coach him, I'm there until he's done. And then I'll probably hopefully retire someday and kind of get a little fifth
Yeah.
wheel and
So
do
you
nothing
want to
for the
be
rest of my life.
like the Richard Taylors and those guys that have coached at his school for 20 something, 30 something years,
You know, like
and you get out, right?
you know, and here's the reason why. If I were to go somewhere else, who's that for? That's for me.
Yeah.
That's such a selfish thing to be like, oh, now I've done it here. Like I love these people. I tell these people like I'm not a lip service guy. Like I love this place. I'm not trying to go somewhere and build something else because like all that is for me. That's a selfish thing. Yeah, if we had ever an opportunity, it could be cool to do if that's what I wanted to do. But I'm not trying to go do that. I'm trying to build the best, biggest thing and have the biggest influence on this school that I can, and
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
No, that's admirable at all. So I just had to throw it out there, throw some controversy
No,
out there,
I
going into
listen.
it.
I'm glad you asked because like I said, I did get a phone call. It's cool, but I'm like I appreciate it, but no, thank you.
Yeah, I remember I asked you after last year, after winning it twice, I was like, all right, are you starting to get phone calls now? And,
I
and you
did. Yeah, I did
basically
last
gave
year
the
too.
same answer at that time as well. So,
Mhm.
and I jokingly like texted you like, it's something you got to tell me.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I mean, you know what, dude, I'm not even that good. I just happen to have good kids. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm
well,
not even that good a coach. I'm just in a good spot.
yeah,
That's
I
what it
mean,
is. So
and like I said, it's going to sound like I'm knocking you now, but I mean, look, your coaching staff as well. You got to give Ty, offensive coordinator, and Paul Clark, and the guys
awesome.
on your staff just a ton of good. The adjustments that they make, with and
Yes.
without your input is just an amazing thing to watch. Just as a football fan out there.
Yeah, it's our staff is I don't care what staff it is out there. Our staff is phenomenal. They're kids that they're dudes that care about the kids, want to put the kids' best situation. They also want to make sure we're playing the right players, doing the right thing. Everybody works well with each other. There is hardly, in a staff
Really?
and a bunch of men playing football, there's so much testosterone and so many opinions. We do so well as a staff of literally collaboratively thinking, decentralized command. So like I have what I want done, or if I say that I want something done on defense or offense, it's implemented in their way. It's not pushed like it. Ty does an awesome job. Paul does an awesome job. Offensive, like everybody cares. And that's what it's about. And it's hard to not find super selfish coaches, which sounds crazy. You
Yeah.
feel like they coach for this, but literally coaches a lot of time are selfish and they want to make themselves look good. like at the expense of others, and none of our coaches are like that.
Yeah. No, it's amazing to watch. I mean, I talked to Paul Clark after, and I saw him. It was funny too, because after the game, when I saw him, his first things to me are, "I got a hunt coming up next Monday." Like almost like disappointed that you guys won. It was kind of
I know, he's like, oh, well, dude, I guess he's got some hunt that's super
Yeah,
special.
it
That
is.
it's
It
like,
really is.
I don't know if it's a once in a lifetime hunt, but I'm like, oh, dude, if I hear about this hunt one
Yeah.
more time, I don't care. I go, bro, I'll go up there with a butter knife and kill that ram. That's easy, dude. Stop it. Like, we don't
Well,
need to go up there all special. And
but I mean, it wasn't. I kind of joke around there. I was like, oh, he doesn't care about this game, which isn't the case at all. But I mean, he was like, oh man, like we got to get ready for this game. I got to rearrange all this stuff,
oh
and it
no,
was instantly into how to get out there and do this and put the kids in the right position to win and stuff to that effect.
yeah.
And it just struck me as kind of like because a lot of coaches, like you said, and I'm not gonna say a lot, but there are coaches out there that would be like, oh, this is affecting my what I have plans coming up and stuff to that effect. And he was like, I got to rearrange this and do all this to get out there. I found it an interesting side take on there talking to him there, and it just in the parking lot, where it came out. So
Yeah, he's dude. That's what I say. He's one of the most interesting conversations you'll ever have in your life too. So that's like our staff is the most eclectic group too. Bunch of old men, bunch of young guys. We all mesh together. But Paul Clark's a special one for sure.
and
He's a good one to have a conversation
yeah,
with.
so let's get into this week, man. St. John's 12-1 as well, and I also find it interesting this year. You're going through, outside of Phoenix teams, right? Wilcox, obviously,
Yeah.
then St. John's coming up. So most people aren't as familiar with them going into these games. You obviously are studying the film and all of that to that effect. But St. John's is one of the, if not the best team in the state, one of the best teams in the state coming into this game. 12-1 matchups. Last 2 years. You guys have won those championship games late, right? And down at one point and had to come back and win it. I mean, I'm expecting that same type of an atmosphere this weekend, set up this game this weekend in terms of you guys.
I think St. John's is good. They're very good. The only team that they lost to is now playing in the state championship game right after us as a 3A team from Round Valley.
Yeah.
That's their only loss. Now they played close games. Santan had them to overtime at St. John's and went for two. Santan could have beat them. ALA was 13-10 in the second round. This game last week was pretty close. But I'll tell you what, they are a heck of a football team. They're just one of those. They've been great. I think this is their 11th or 12th or 15th. It's some crazy number. This is how many state championships they've been in. This is their 11th, I think. Maybe
they haven't been. They haven't been there since 2008, I think, is what I was reading.
Yep.
Which means they're hungry, right? This group of kids wants to get up on that monument that they have up there.
That's the year I lost to them. So we lost to them in the semis. Not semis, in the quarterfinals at St. John's. It was like 9 degrees. That's what I remember playing. And then their coach, Mike Morgan, is now, and he went away for a while, and now he's back, and he helps coach offense on that team now. They're so well coached. They're so good. They're big. They're strong. They're physical. Wait till you see this number 77 for them, number 1 for them. Like, they're big, talented, athletic kids. They're definitely going to want to kill the private school in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
They're going to have that little bit extra edge coming at us, but they're extremely well coached. Quarterback can spin it. He can run. They have good athletes on the interior, good big offensive line, defensive line, linebackers. Like they're pretty good across the board. I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, here's their weakness. I wouldn't tell you if I thought one, but I don't, there's not like a big, there's not a big glaring weakness that I do see, and coaching is phenomenal, and it's a heck of a matchup. I think it's what you want state championships to be, right?
Well, absolutely. I mean,
teams. Yeah.
It's going to be fascinating to see. I mean, they have to come back down again, right? They've been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth over the last couple of weeks and everything, and they're used to it. They have to travel to get to most of their games up there in St. John's. But you're right. I mean, they have a senior wide receiver that also plays a defensive back there. They do Platt there. 33.8 yards per game receiving. Rushing, their senior.
Which number is that? Which number is that?
You know what? I don't have that. Let me pull up their the roster. I just have my notes.
I don't know last names. I know numbers.
Oh, I know. Oh, you're one of those coaches, huh?
Yes, yes. Because if I know his
Platts
name, then it
7.
gets all personal. I start to
Yeah.
like the kid.
I'm just kidding. Your buddy Ryan. You're just like number 52. Platts
Yeah.
7. Platts 7 is
Mhm.
what number he is there. Um,
Oh yeah, he's a good athlete.
You
Just
know,
stood out.
and
Yep.
it's just like the numbers that these guys are putting up. I mean, quite frankly, it's comparable to your team out there and everything. But they do have a lot of seniors that are making some noise here, right? Which, you know, it's a thing here. But seniors tend to be a little bit bigger, a little bit faster than even their junior
More
counterparts and
mature.
things to that effect
Yeah.
coming into this game. So, tell us about St. John's. You know, running team, passing team. I know they pass the ball a lot, but is it a traditional offense like you guys, or you know, are we done with the wing tees and all of that?
No, they can get they you know what's funny is they can do a little bit of it all.
Yeah.
They can go from the wishbone to running like option to spreading it out, running a screen game. They kind of
Wishbone, really?
have yeah, so they line up in wishbone, and I'm 100% certain we're gonna see some wishbone. Like I 100% certain we will see some wishbone. They yeah, they line up a wishbone, they line up
Yeah.
they kind of like a little wing tee set, similar to us in ways, but then they go condense a little bit more, open it back up, screen, get the ball to the edges, run sweep. So like they're it's not like like they're not a wing tee offense that comes out and just runs wing tee, right? It's not one of those. They do too much. So
Yeah, I mean, just I was just pulling up their season stats here. Yeah, I mean, their quarterback's a junior. Weight number 10 there, 12 55 or 55 completions, 109 attempts here on the season for
mhm.
them, and you know they have several people carrying the ball. You know, close to 100 carries. A couple of them out there as well. 395 total carries on the year for this matchup. So, I mean, look, it's Saturday night. You guys have been there before. It's you know their first time in a long time coming to this
Mhm.
game, and you know it's got to be exciting, obviously, and getting these guys grounded. You know, my last question in terms of going leading up to it, do you have to kind of talk to these guys? Because let's face it, we're dealing with teenage kids, right? It's easy to go, oh, you know, a third time there. We've been there before. I mean, are you having to pump that down and sell it as look, like you said, you just go 1-0. This is a different
Yep.
environment, a lot of confidence on your team right now. I mean, how are you having to tamper that down, or the kids got the right mindset and just on their own?
Yeah, I think is it's a great question. I think they've had it. They kind of go up and down, right? They kind of go up and down for practice. Like you can have a good practice, you can have bad practices, and because they're worried about this, because they're not. I think it's just like forget the past as well as you honor the past. We're just trying to go 1-0, and I feel like we're just trying to go good practice by good practice. So I already sent something out in huddle today that I'm switching up the practice a little bit, and I think it'll kind of like get him going, be a little bit more business type. So you can probably see that in a little bit, but trying to kind of bring a little bit more business to practice today, tomorrow, and Friday, and get going on that. So I think it's just it's trying to really get him to concentrate on where we're at in the moment, not in the past.
Well, that's because I can. I mean, I look back to when I was that, and it's been a long time. But even as adults,
Mhm.
right, you'll see that even in professional ranks of, oh, we beat them twice
Yep.
and we blew them out, and all of a sudden you're in
Oh
a
yeah.
dogfight, right, and things
Can't
to
do
that
it. Can't
effect.
do it. St. John's is good, man. They're
Yeah,
they're here for a reason. So are we. So it should.
yeah,
I hope it's a good one. I hope we're on the right end of it. But I know it's going to be a good one no matter what.
yeah. It's over at Red Mountain. I'm not Red Mountain, excuse me. Mountain Point
Mountain
over
Point.
there in
Mountain Point.
well
Yep.
Phoenix, but Ahwatukee there. 3 p.m. on Saturday. Of course, we'll be there. We don't have the conflict of the ASU U of A game. They were nice enough to move that to
Oh yeah.
Friday
Last
night
year
for us.
exactly.
We
Yes,
we
that's
had
good.
plans
That's
until
good.
I realized it was Friday night. I was like, all right, we'll go to the SCA game, and we just might have to leave a little bit early. You know, so hopefully, I was
Very
like,
good.
hopefully it's not down to the wire like it's been the last couple of years.
I know. Jeez. Well, let's just I hope we come out on top. Like I said, I know it's gonna be a dogfight, but
Yeah.
we're hoping to come out on top. But there's a freaking mountain in front of us. We just
Well,
gotta get going.
but knowing you like I have over the last couple of years, you wouldn't want this any other way going into this weekend. So you know,
No way.
whatever happens on that, I know you're excited to be here again and have this challenge ahead of you, and it's gonna be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it for you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing St. John's. I'm not gonna lie about that either. It's just I was like, wow. a team from St. John's? Is this
It's
good?
I love the rural, like I said, I'm from Kingman, so I love the rural type connection
Yeah.
too. I feel like these guys don't like us, but I definitely have a respect for all the rural teams for
Yeah.
sure. So
Why wouldn't a rural team like you guys of all things, just Phoenix and all that
just a
stuff?
private city
Yeah.
school,
Okay.
like
That's what I
why
figured.
would you, right? Like I'm just being honest. Like
Well, yeah.
why would a private city like think about private Scottsdale? Like they're
No, I
just
get
gonna be
that. No, I get it.
like you're a rural kid. Like I'm not gonna say that I wasn't like that when I was younger before I met people,
Yeah. Oh no.
right? But like
Yeah.
you're gonna think that
I saw it at
you're already gonna
Dobson.
have that.
Yeah, I saw it at Dobson
Yeah,
where I went to school, and then we had it toward like Paradise Valley when we had to play them back in the
yeah.
day,
Oh
and
yeah.
you always have that. But I mean, it's just that whole thing's out there again, right? People are starting that narrative of why do the rural teams always have to travel to Phoenix for these games, and it's unfair to them, and you get all that stuff, so that could be a chip on their shoulder. I can understand that kind of a deal, because it is an interesting thing how this whole system works out there. But look, they're going to come down prepared and ready to play you guys, and I have no doubt you guys will be ready to play also. Parting words here before we go, and you go enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend and get ready for Saturday.
No, a couple things. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Bears, go Eagles, and hopefully on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, I think we get hopefully we have one more show of celebratory show.
Yeah,
next
are you
week
going to
is
do that?
my hope.
I'm not going to ask you. I was going to ask you a question, but I won't ask you that. I'm not going to put that in the
Hey, I'll
universe.
do it one way or
Okay,
another.
that's what I wanted to know. You're not going to be like some people.
Yes. No, dude, I listen, if
We
we
lost.
get
I'm not
beat,
coming on this week. We
yeah,
lost.
like it's a game. It's yes, I don't want to shortcome it, but yeah, I'll be on no matter what, because no matter what, I appreciate everything that you've done for us throughout the year. I'm sure that people that want us to lose will love to hear me after that if we were to lose.
I mean,
So
it's a part
you
of
know
it.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's humble in all things, and it no matter what, I'm gonna be here. I hope we're on the right end of it. I think we can be. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna go with.
And then like I said, there's a standing invite. We've reached out to some, and some have declined and stuff like that. But there's a standing invite. Any 2A or even 3A schools out there, you want to come on. Doesn't necessarily mean we'll do it live on this program. We can record it later on and put it out separately and stuff.
Yeah.
I have that invite, out there for people, and it's amazing. It's amazing what you get told sometimes. That's fine. It's
I know.
I'm only trying to publicize.
As I said,
it.
they can have their opinions, right? Don't worry about it. So look, I think what was my did you see my Twitter the other day? Let me pull this up. I had a great quote on there.
Oh yes,
It's
don't take advice from somebody or something without that one. Yeah.
It's perfect. It says never worry about criticism from someone you would never ask advice from.
My favorite part about you posting that though was everybody instantly was like, "Who's talking smack, coach?"
No, just talking. It's just like when you get this far in the playoffs, everybody's got opinions. So I'm just like, I would never ask this dude for advice. So why would I care about what his opinion is anyways?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, like we're an opinion show, and you'd be amazed at how many people are like, "Your opinion's stupid." Well, that's fine.
You know what? Fair.
But it's my opinion, like I don't.
Probably a bad quote for. It's probably a bad quote for a sports podcast. So,
yeah, it's like we get criticism all the time on here, and it's like that's what we do. Like we're putting it out there. We're not hiding behind stuff and doing it, and we just have fun with it. You got to do that, but I get it, man. It gets stressful sometimes. I can imagine for you. Your team, even St. John's, right? They're not clean on some stuff up there, and I don't mean that negatively, but some of their people are like they shouldn't be in this game or whatever, and it's the nature of it right now. It's the nature of it with everybody able to talk online and stuff to that effect, and you guys, I can't speak for any other team because I'm not, I don't follow them as closely, but Desert Ridge is 6A team, some controversy. They just lost their coach as well, and there's some other issues I've talked about on here and things to that effect, and then all of a sudden I get criticized because I put an opinion out there on something that I know and have been told in that program. And it's just like,
and you actually are very familiar with it too.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't just make stuff up, people, and I'm actually being nice about what I'm putting out there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so that's like I said, you handle it well. I know a lot of people handle it well out there and stuff to that effect. And like I said, I have no doubt, hopefully you guys come out with the win this weekend, obviously, but I have no doubt it's going to be handled professionally and well held no matter what the result is. They're coming up on Saturday night.
Appreciate it. That's a good compliment. I'll take that I like that. That's a very nice
Yeah,
compliment.
I mean,
Thank you.
look, if I had any doubt on that, I'd be, don't embarrass me, coach, is what I'm trying to. No, I'm just kidding. Well,
No,
get
I
out of
get
here.
it. Well,
Go have a good Thanksgiving weekend. We'll see you on Saturday as much as we can with the restrictions, of course, and everything. But we'll see you guys out there rooting for you guys and paying attention and looking forward to a good game. And we'll see you then. All right.
awesome. Thanks for
All right.
everything, man. I'll talk to you.
You got it. Talk to you later.
Bye.
So, of
Happy
course,
Thanksgiving. Bye.
thank you. You too. Tell the family we say hello as well. We don't do that enough here, and especially your dad. Hey, pops. Good to see you again there as well. Just an absolutely gem of a human being, Mike's dad, and his mom's just amazing as well. We spent some time with them at the games as well and talked to them, and all of that. So when we come back here, of course, Mike Sheahan, Scottsdale Christian Academy, St. John's this Saturday night or afternoon, 3 p.m. down there at things. We will be there. I know some people on the show came last year. If you're interested in checking that out, have nothing going on, reach out. We'd love to see you down there as well, and watch some good football. To be honest with you, is what I'm excited to see down there. When we come back, we'll keep the show rolling. I got Dale's picks here for our games this week. I'll go over those. We'll talk the college football playoffs as well. Just the garbage stuff is starting to happen with the college football playoff, folks. ASU got the win last night at Washington State over there in Maui in the championship game. Today against USC as well. Look, this team is outperforming. I know Bruce Cooper yesterday was like, I'm not going to get excited with this offseason or with this, preseason, pre-conference schedule. I agree with them on that, but this team is showing something special that's just fun to watch right now as well coming up. And, of course, we'll get you set up for the weekend as well here, right? Our last show of the week here. No McCollum on business today. It's off until Monday as well. And, we didn't address this earlier, by the way. And I will get to the text that came in that I pushed off there for Lou. But look, not in jail, guys. I didn't go to jail yesterday with the deal. Yeah. Still in it. Still, we had to do a continuance. But didn't make it to jail yesterday. So able to do the show today. For the people that don't know what we're talking about, they're probably like, oh, is this a bad dude in jail? What's he talking about? Come on back, folks. The main event.